Hi, Nate and Lorraine here.
Hi.
LorrainePurcell.com, 3keys-to-self-love.com, Nate Nelson, blurbsurfer.com. And we're two friends that just like to talk. Usually we walk, but it's too cold outside, so we're sitting in my Jeep and talking.
And today we're going to talk about kids because they're super important to me. Recently I've been teaching as a substitute for the school district, and it's great. I've gotten to work with a bunch of wonderful kids, a bunch of wonderful teachers, faculty, and staff. However, I've been really concerned about the kids' readiness to learn and why they're not ready to learn. And Lorraine has some insight. She told me earlier. What did you tell me?
Yeah, one of the first things I learned in 1995 when I trained to be an educational therapist was that children cannot attend to what they're supposed to be learning. That word attend, like attendance, like emotionally attend, if all of their needs aren't met. And so it goes to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The kids who can't attend are in survival. So as an educational therapist, former educational therapist, what my work is and was is soothing that situation so that person feels safe. Like they cannot even pay attention to reading and writing if they're concerned about their safety.
I think it's really important what she just said because last week I got to work with some fourth graders that were needing extra help with their reading and math, and just 5 kids in the classroom with me, so it gives me an opportunity to work more one-on-one with each one of them. But they are very distracted, very not ready to learn, and they lash out at each other like I've never seen before in my life. And what I do is I try to get some one-on-one time with each student and find out what's going on. And 2 of the people, they expressed their home lives are horrible. Their dads are abusive, gone, not there. Their mothers are struggling, and court system, this and that, and abuse, and it's just craziness. And I'm really concerned about our kids and our future, because our kids are our future, and education is very important. So what can we do, Lorraine, to improve the situation? How can we, because I noticed that the other thing too is a lot of kids are spending a lot of time on their phones and social media, and it's not normal. And I think that we need to restrict the use of social media and the phones to a certain extent, and we need to be spending quality time with our kids, whether it's 5 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night. We have to take the time to interact with our kids. What do you think?
Yeah, I want to say, put down your phone. Have your kids put down your phone, because in one of the other videos we did today, we talked about the cave you fear to go in holds your answers. And social media, it's so addicting. Texting is so addicting. Emails are so addicting that they can just distract us from going into those places. And so it's become this big escape mechanism for everybody, and nobody's really in touch with who they are, or in touch with spirit, or in touch with their soul, or what. And that to me is the biggest gift you can give your children, but it's hard to give it to your children if you don't have it yourself. So, putting down the phone at dinner, like turning it off at a certain point. I've just really gotten a lot of satisfaction by just not being I maybe spend an hour every 2 days.
She doesn't even call
on
me.
My computer. Like, I'll text people, because that doesn't seem social media to me. That seems like, okay, it's one person I'm interacting. But I'm just really getting low number on any kind of electronics. And the journey is going within, and I don't feel deprived at all. In fact, I feel richer and richer and richer because of it. So this is not about me, this is about kids. So what can you do if you're feeling empty, or like scattered energy, distorted energy, like there's no clarity in you? It's probably because you have too much technology in your life. too much TV, too much radio, too much music, too much, like just stillness, 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 stillness. Can you give that to your kids? Can your kids find their stillness, or can you learn stillness from your kids? Because they need that so that they don't have distorted, chaotic energy. We all need it. Our nervous systems need to calm down. Our nervous systems need to come into stillness. Even the food we eat, is it sugar and caffeine and processed? What is going to make us anchored? What is going to make us calm and centered? So we can really be held to a frequency where we can hear with our spiritual ear, hear with our heart, hear with our gut, hear with our soul. Can you really hear your child? Can you really hear what they're trying to say, even though their words aren't able to communicate what's going on for them? It's a learned skill, and it takes cleaning all of that distraction out of our life and having stillness. Even reading can be a distraction. Like, can you just be still? Can you just breathe? Can you just sit and breathe? Can you just sit and be with your animal, your pet on your lap, and just pet them and just be in stillness? Can you teach your child to comfort themselves and just be there? Because that's what's missing. Our kids are going crazy because we're going crazy.
It's true.
They're just a reflection of us.
I like what she said. I'm going to hit on a couple things. I grew up in northern Minnesota, so I had really great growing up, actually. Lived on a lake, and so I'd go out canoeing all the time by myself or with a dog, and I remember that now, and I'm just thinking, wow, those were moments of stillness or nature, where it was just me out there, the dog, and we're just the wind blowing and paddling quietly. I just remember trying to paddle as quietly as I could and move the canoe through the water, and just the sound of the water moving and then the sound of the loon is just amazing. The just nature and being out there and just kind of resetting my brain. But those are really important things. And then the other thing is, well, it didn't cost money. A lot of people think they can throw money at their kids. I'll buy them a toy, I'll give them a new phone, I'll do this, I'll do that. It's like,
they will resent you. They will resent you. They will hate you. I'm sorry for being so strong, but they will hate you for that.
Getting out and doing things is really important. Like when I went back to see my sister, we like going for walks, and she makes the kids go, and they're like, do we have to? And then after they do, they're so they feel so much better and happier. And then the other thing I want to talk about, a couple of things, is she mentioned eating right, and I think it's really easy for us to throw food at our kids, packaged meals. Let's just go through McDonald's quick so I don't have to cook for my kids. You don't have to cook for your kids. You can teach your kids to cook for themselves, for you.
Do it together.
Do it together. Give them, show them how to cook some of the basics. Anybody can cook pasta. You put water and pasta in a dish. You boil it until it's ready to go. You strain it, put, sauce on it, butter on it, garlic, whatever. There's so many simple things that your kids can make that are actually pretty healthy versus just throwing something in a microwave, all right? Because it's proven that the foods we eat are going to cause cancer and kill us. If you eat healthy, your brain's going to be healthy, your body's going to be healthy, the kids are going to be much more receptive in school. There's actually studies, I can't name them right now, but there's studies that show these kids that have allegedly ADD and all these attention things, and they're hyper. It's because if you look at their diets, their parents are giving them crap food, fast food, sugar, soda, all these things that are just not good for us, let alone kids, because their brains are developing, their bodies are developing and growing, and we're putting junk into our kids, and we need to really be concerned about that and how we do that. And then lastly, I want to talk about, if you don't have kids, maybe you're an uncle, you're an aunt, a brother, sister, kids are kind of like I used to work in the jail system in California, and they tell you as a jailer, the inmates see everything they do. They're always watching you. They know your routines. They know everything you do, probably before you even know it. And kids are the same way. They're like little sponges. They're like little recording sponges, and they see everything that adults are doing. So it's really important to be aware of that as an adult. Even if you're a young adult, the kids are watching you, and you need to show kids what it means to be mature, grown up, responsible. And you don't have to go around like a serious, mature adult all the time, but be respectful and be the example for kids to want to be like. So treat other people the way that you'd like to be treated when you're in public anytime. Be the example, not only as a parent, but as an adult, so that kids have something to see that is good, instead of a lot of the stuff that they're seeing now on TV and in the news and in the media. We need to be better examples for our kids, and we need to listen to them. We need to spend time with them. We need to show them adoration, and we need to let them know that they're okay. It's okay to be a kid, and that you still care about them, and we're here to help them as adults. We're here to help them be successful.
And you've been in the trenches lately.
Right?
It's been fun. I heard something once, I don't know the details of it, but this was during the Cold War, that the Russians actually discovered microwave, and they found out it was so bad for you that they gave it to the Americans.
Probably true. Probably true.
Because it kills our food, and it kills us, I think. So anyway, little aside. LorrainePurcell.com for more of my work, or 3 Keys to Self-Love. Get my free ebook there. Blurbsurfer.com for Nate Nelson.
I have one more thing though.
Yeah.
Honestly, one thing that I've been doing in the classroom as a substitute teacher is trying to spend a little bit of time with each student one-on-one, remembering their name and something about them. And I'm telling you, you connect so much quicker with the students that way, because a lot of these students have no one connecting with them on a daily basis. Like they're just like a happenstance to their parents. Their parents are going through the motions of life. Like, hey, I'm putting clothes on my kid, I'm feeding my kid, I'm taking them to school, I'm letting someone else teach my kid what they're supposed to do. Like these kids, they don't have anybody, or that's giving them what I call time, love time, like letting them know that they're okay, that they're loved, and that they're good people. And that's so important as adults. So please, in closing, and I'm so adamant about this, be the example. Go out there and touch the lives of people by being a loving, caring, listening example to others, so that because honestly, like Lorraine's energy, when I first met her, I was like, who is this person? But like now, I just being around her, the energy she gives off, the vibe of love and adoration and understanding, it's there. And when you have it, you can bring it to other people, and it spreads like a disease, but it's a good disease. And that's the whole purpose of living in life, is a purpose loving life. Love others, love God, love ourselves. And so I'm really worried about our kids, and I want us to be there for them. So thanks for letting me go a little bit longer.
Yeah, I love what you said about that purpose, because it's not like I do this. Our purpose really is to, I think, be present. So if you can just be present with your kids and be present with yourself, that's the biggest thing. It's not an easy thing to do.
Practice.
Then we have to look at that cave that we're afraid of, right? When we're having to be present with ourselves and present with kids.
Oh, quick.
Yeah.
The other day, I got disappointed with one of the kids, and I voiced my disappointment. And then later on, I apologized to the student, and I apologized in front of the class. I said, you know what, I got disappointed with you. I said that. I'm sorry about that. And the child was like, you know what, I did too, and I'm sorry about that. I was amazed. I was like, wow, this
How
kid,
old?
like 4th grade, you know? So I was really amazed, but I think it's important as adults to be able to admit when you've done wrong. Tell your kids, hey,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I did wrong, I made a mistake, whatever. Own it. Own up to it. That is the example for your kids. So when they grow up, they'll be like, hey, it's okay to make mistakes. We all do. Own up to it. Right?
Being able to apologize is a really big thing.
Super big, especially in relationships,
Quickly.
right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, honey.
I'm sorry, honey.
But thank you for listening. And
Yeah.
like we've said before, if you have any topics that you're interested in hearing us talk about, not that we're experts or anything, but I think it's really, a lot of times it can be interesting to hear another woman or man's perspective on something.
We just like to throw ideas around.
Yeah, and it's not going to come back on you in any way because we haven't met you. So you can just listen to us talk about it, and you won't get in trouble. We won't get in trouble, but we'll talk about whatever topic you want.
And you
For
can
the
be,
most part.
you can be anonymous if you want. You can say, so-and-so from Minnesota. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. We hope that this served you in some way. Blessings.